opening. I agree with Brian that this probably isn't a good spot for a motorboat launching area. Three of the Acaponic Harbor, which is 1/4 the size of Lake Montauk, has 3 launching areas, but one of them is really for kayaks and canoes, small boats and things like that. They can all be used by small boats, kayaks, and things. But I do agree, I do think that it should be part of the Department of State, why they give us money for these kinds of studies, is one of their aegises. They don't give money unless they get public access. You know, they like public access. This is a movement that's all over the United States, not just in New York State. And so they like to have public access as a result of the grant money. That doesn't pay for the access necessarily, but it's in the plan. And here you have the great opportunity of not only controlling the water, but having public access at the same time. And it makes sense because we own on the water land at the edge of this public access, and not a big deal, but we would have to get a DEC permit. There would have to be a plan drawn, design, and the board, I'm not sure the board, the planning board, or wherever you want to do it, but they would have to, I was going to be taking that on in the watershed study. However, I'm not so sure you want to wait that long. But there does have to be some kind of plan before you apply to the DEC for a permit, otherwise they'll laugh at you. And they have to have some kind of idea of what you're doing.
What I'm hearing are 2 different things. I'm hearing we have to study the option and the impacts of opening up for some kind of access and what it means environmentally and regulation-wise. But at the same time, we have a taking of the property, the use of the property now, that is use of public property by a private person. So how do we, what happens in
I don't think adverse possession works.
Right. Doesn't apply to a municipality.
Okay, so we can't lose it, okay.
Right.
So the question becomes is what is the proper, what is the information I need to know in order to act properly when given information that town land is being used by private parties without permission or without right?
Well, there's a lot of it being done. In fact, in nature preserves, 415, 20 nature preserves, and we essentially, whenever anybody is encumbered part of our nature preserve using it privately, we have gone after them and essentially resolved pretty much all those issues. There's about 20 of them involve fences and things like that, you know.
Okay, so we have some experience.
So what we need to do is we need to have the planning department draw up a plan. And the assumption is that we will not put motorboats in there. It'll be kayaks or paddle boats and whatever you think is the appropriate plan. And then from there, we sit down and figure out where to go from the DEC.
I just want to have input there for the pond.
Sure.
Can I have the question though, is the issue of the motorized boat a function of the draw, the depth? So if you have a motorized boat that only draws, a foot.
Right, but I think the Westlake Drive
Is it a function of the motor or is it a function of the depth?
Yeah, it's a function of depth, and Brian's right. One of the things we would like to do with this plan, the watershed management plan, is to zone different parts of the lake for different uses, the way 3 Mile Harbor has been zoned. That is, it's not good to use motorboats in shallow water because of all the silt that kicks up. That's one of the reasons why that's one of the reasons why the eelgrass has been depleted in all of our harbors, It's pretty well documented, that is. So I'm not so sure that we want a launch ramp there.
Listen, I don't want that Lake Montauk plan to go. I mean, we gotta get that technical committee going again. Get on
We
that.
are writing the plan as we speak.
All right, okay, thank you, Larry. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me for the first
Quite
time.
welcome. The next item on the agenda is, I think in I'm really going to date myself now, probably somewhere around 86 or 88, I put in the first same-sex partner benefits in the corporation with the Capital Cities Communications in New York. And when I came here some 20